All right, first and foremost, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and was worthy to be counted for double honors. And peace and salutations to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for the love of gospel. All right, it's the brother Gabari, accompanied with the
brother Shamaria of Indiana.
of the Indiana camp. All right, come back at you again with another sit down. All right,
All right, good. Just this past camp, it was a guy who was in the midst of us. All right, he was on the other side of the line, and he had got an altercation with a cracker, with a so-called white man. All right, and he was sitting, according to his story that he gave us, he was sitting down, and the cracker walked past him and they had some words, some hostile words. The cracker assaulted him verbally. All right, and then he kind of the Jake got up and said, "What did you say to me?" And then the so-called white man said, "You fucking nigger." All right, and then the Jake robbed him. He took his bag. He didn't rob him, for everything he got, but he took what he had in his hand. All right, and he told us the story, and as we opened up, and we were telling him that he was wrong, So this is us doing a video on it, trying to spread the word, so to speak. All right, for anybody else with altercations like that. All right, when these crackers do something hostile to make you mad. Now, I'm not telling you not to defend your life. Now, if they come for your life and you feel threatened, protect yourself by all means. But as for retaliation, all right, as for they do or say something to you to get back at them, to get your lick back, you're not supposed to do anything. Could you
No, so this guy was learning. He stands on the other side. It's like his third week coming. So we just told him like, hey, yo, that wasn't right to do. You're supposed to walk about this. You was wrong in doing it. So the guy's learning. He's still fairly new.
Yeah.
And
he comes up. He becomes, like the brother said, 3 weeks. He's fairly new. We said you cut. The Lord winks at stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I don't see a brother in GMS doing anything like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
I'm just spreading the word for the hopeful elect. Hopefully this video that is fine. But I want to get Matthew's Google search.
I can't search anything. It's on airplane mode.
You can't push the little magnifying glass.
Like, hold on.
That one.
Oh, you said search as far as like a scripture. Oh, I thought you was gonna say search like a word or something.
Or just push wise and dove. Wise and dove.
So Matthews, yeah.
Yeah, because we gotta move with finesse in this life, all right. And finesse means to get not to get over. Finesse means to finagle, swiftly. Could you read that for me?
This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. It says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves."
We're sheep in the midst of wolves. And if you know anything about a sheep doesn't have any fangs or claws to protect. It's completely reliant on the shepherd to protect them. All right.
It's basically defenseless.
Defenseless, exactly.
All right. It says, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents, but harmless as doves.
We gotta be wise as serpents, and serpents are very cunning creatures. All right, they get their dinner or their meal. All right, very deceptive. They're using deceit. All right, very sly and sneaky.
And also another thing about snakes is they don't just they attack their prey. They just don't rapidly just keep firing and trying to, and whatever hit. When they attack their prey, when they basically attack, their hit is precise and accurate.
Yeah.
It's never and if they do miss, it's a very rare chance that they do miss. All right, so when they strike in I think less than a second, and when they hit their target accurately. So that's how we're supposed to be. That's how we're supposed to be when some type of altercation comes up. We're supposed to basically be wise. We're supposed to know exactly how to move, exactly how to do it, and perform it accurately. All right, swift and accurate. All right. So if a certain situation comes up, we're supposed to know exactly what to do and do it as soon as it brings forth. So if that altercation happened, we're supposed to know exactly how to solve it and do it.
Yep.
All right, because there's one thing about knowing something and you be like, but fuck that, I'm gonna do it this way, you know. Or it's a different things about knowing what to do and try to do it, but you're too slow in doing it, you know. So you have to basically be wise, because a snake knows when to the perfect moment when to strike. All right, so he doesn't, you know. Sometimes he waits till the prey gets close. Sometimes he'll chase his prey down to get it. You know, he just basically maneuvers how. I mean, you know, if you watch an Animal Planet, you know how a snake maneuver. It never. It's crazy. I was just gonna say it never blinks, but yeah, but metaphorically speaking and literally speaking, yeah, snakes never blinks. And I was saying that because it never misses a second or never misses a movement. You know, so a snake knows exactly what time to do everything. You know, that's how we're supposed to be.
Can you go into words in that app?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Go type in serpent. Click on serpent. I hope it don't give the literal definition of a serpent.
Snake, serpent. With ancient, the serpent was a emblem of a cunning and wide wisdom.
This is very cunning. Yep. All right, very what's another word for cunning? Very
sly.
Very sly, sneaky,
mischievous,
you
know? Which.
Wise as serpents. A serpent has to be wise to be cunning, because you have to know. You know, you have to know what your enemy likes. All right, you have to know how they are. You know. And he says, wise as serpents and harmless as doves. All right, now doves aren't harm. You know, they get their food. They sow. I mean, they don't sow or reap. All right, but they eat what worms and bugs. And
whatever the Lord gives them.
Exactly. And they're very harmless. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to operate. We have to operate in the same fashion as these animals. All right. Wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove.
Absolutely. You know.
Another precept to that is get Romans 13. Romans 12 and 19.
And this is Romans chapter 12 verse 19. It says, "Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves."
Come on, avenge not yourselves. Because why? It said the Lord said, "Vengeance is mine, and I shall repay." You know. Keep going.
It says, "But rather give place unto wrath."
Come on, rather give place unto your wrath. That means hold your peace. So. In the scenario that we gave with the guy with the Jake and the Edom, with the so-called white man, all right, he should have gave place to his wrath and let the Lord take care of it. Lord, I hope Lord send swift death upon this Edomite for what he has done to me. All right, because it's written that whosoever should offend one of these little ones, it's better for him to tie a millstone around his neck and cast it into the sea. All right, that's more, because the Lord can do more than you can do to avenge you. You know, right?
Yeah. Quick example is see what happens to Yahushua. You know, it says what touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm.
Exactly.
But you know, you see what they did to Yahushua. All right, you know, and that was a Judah and Benjamin Levi. You know, that was their fault, because they gave up Yahushua to what's it called, to be, you know, crucified like that. And you see what the Lord did unto them. You know, damn near all Deuteronomy over on the slave ships. You know, the mass killings and the murder, and through the hard tribute of slavery. You know, that's what basically happened after they touched the Lord, man. You know, because they did Yahushua, which was the greatest prophet among us all. They touched him and they did him harm. All right.
Yep. And then he said when Peter chopped the guy's ear off, man, he said, "Think not that I can pray of my Father and summon 7 legions of angels." So he had the power to deliver himself. You know, the Lord had the power that the Most High gave him, man.
Right.
But he chose not to do it. Why? To fulfill prophecy.
Yeah, it was a lot of things had to be done. It was a lot of prophecy, and a lot of things like how can I say?
He had to die on the cross.
Yeah, he had to do a lot of things he had to do a lot of things by dying. All right, let me say it like that. He was doing multiple things. You know.
Okay.
It wasn't just taking care of one act. He was taking care of multiple acts. You know, for an example, he was saving the elect's sins, his own sins.
He was leading by example.
He was leading by example. He was leading fulfilling prophecy, like the book of Isaiah.
Yep.
You know, he was fulfilling prophecy as far as the time was written. All right, he he was doing multiple things within this one act. All right, so he had to have it happen, but not to venture too far.
He moved. He moved like a serpent.
Yeah.
All right. He'd go in. He would offend the. He would speak the truth, and by speaking the truth, he would offend those that the truth didn't reside in, and they would get angry and try to kill him. And he'd move through the press. He'd move through the crowd, and they couldn't find him. He'd slip through. So he was wise as a serpent because he was able to slip through. He was cunning in his movements. All right. But he was harmless as a devil because he didn't inflict harm on them, even though he could have. All right. If it all be possible.
Yeah.
Peace be with one of all men.
I got that. If you
Okay, go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 12 verse 8, which I actually think you had me holding. I can just go up to 8 then. It says wait, hold on, wait. 12, 18, it's like
18, okay.
Yeah, it was verse up.
It was a verse up.
Oh man, I should have read that above. It says Romans chapter 12 verse 18. It says, if it be possible, it says, as much as lieth in you, live peaceable amongst all men. Now
go up another verse, Bible Shah.
Kind of says, recompense to no man evil for evil.
That recompense no man evil to evil.
Mm-hmm.
So it's because he called you a nigga and slap you in the face, all right? Don't recompense evil for evil. You put curses on him, let the Lord deal with it, man, because the Lord can harm him more than you can. Keep going.
It says, recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all right? And how did old dude recompense evil for evil? Because dude, he called him a nigger, he called him out his name, so of course that's evil. But what did he do to return him? He stole something from him, which is that you're not supposed. That's part of the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not steal.
And we're supposed to live under this man's ordinance.
Exactly.
That's a commandment under this nation's ordinance. And
exactly.
He disobeyed that scripture.
Yeah, exactly. So you're recommending this man for. That's basically like, oh, this man slept with my woman, so I'm gonna sleep with his woman.
Exactly.
That's recompensing evil for evil. There's no gain in that. Now you gotta have to die because you both broke the commandments. All right, just because he broke the commandment, against, I ain't gonna say against you because it's the Lord's commandments, but just because he broke the commandments doesn't give you a ticket to go do the same thing. Now you both have to be put to death.
Right.
That's why it says, provide things honest in all the sight of the men, because you're walking by example. You are a representation of Yahweh Shah once you understand these knowledge and this true understanding of the knowledge, man. All right. Kind of says, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you. So basically, this brother might be like, oh, I can live with an Edomite. This brother be like, fuck that, I can't live with no Edomite. That's why it says, as much as it lieth in you. So most brothers can't even work with. So some brothers hate Esau so much where they can't even work with him. Where they be like, well, I gotta find me a job by myself. I can't work with the Edomite. Other brothers be like, oh, I can work with Esau. No, that's cool. I'm still back of my mom. I'm looking at it as like, you the fucking devil, man. Hey, as how much ever the Lord gives you to be tolerable, exercise that. All right. Me personally, I can't live with no Edomite, but I mean that's
I can't live with him.
I can work with him. I don't work. I'm on my work when I can even shuck and jive. With an Edomite, but
conversation with one.
Yeah. So basically, as much as it lieth in you. So basically, how much the Lord's saying, how much ever you can think you can be able to take. Be peaceable. If you think you can't work with him, if you really hate him that much, where you think you can't tolerate him at work, find another job. All right. It says, if it be possible, as much as it lieth in you, live peaceable with all men. Dearly,
It's plain.
Yeah, that's completely plain.
All men. Go ahead.
It says, dearly beloved. It says, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath.
Mm-hmm.
For it is written, vengeance is mine,
and I will
repay, saith the Lord.
Get the precept that can get Deuteronomy 32 and 35. Because because when you gotta think, these people the apostles. So yeah, the apostles and the disciples is the word I'm looking for. The disciples was reading out of the Old Testament. So what was they quoting when they was writing the New Testament? They was quoting Deuteronomy, Numbers, Genesis, Isaiah, Jeremiah. All right, so could you read that one?
Okay. This is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 35. It says, "To me belongeth vengeance."
To me belongeth the vengeance. All right, so to the Lord vengeance belongeth, and the Lord said, "I will repay." All right, go ahead.
And recompense.
And recompense. So that's repaying the reward for good or evil. Keep going.
It says, "Their foot shall slide in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste."
God, and that's I mean, it was referring to us, you know, but you could be applied that to Edomites, all right, or all of these nations, because the Lord's coming back, and then they're gonna, all of the things that they have done to us is gonna fall back on them, which is the curses, all right. Deuteronomy 30:7 says, "All of the curses that you suffered shall be put on your enemies." Okay.
Okay. I got some Bible shot. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 17. It says, "I say in my heart, Yahweh shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time." It says, "For there is a time there for every purpose and for every work." All right. So basically, the judgment for the righteous and the wicked, there's a time and there's a purpose at it. All right. There's no, "Oh, judgment came too late. Oh, judgment came too early." At that specific time judgment is given out, that's exactly how it's supposed to be given out. Precise. All right. There's no how can I say delay in it. There was no early, "Oh, this judgment came too early." You know, we're supposed to know that judgment. Hey, if a child be born and the doctor end up slipping, he fall on his head and splatters his brains everywhere, guess what? It was specifically written at that single time that was supposed to happen. It wasn't no, "Oh, you're supposed to wait till you get 20 years from now until orders." No, the Lord's not slack concerning judgment.
That's right.
You know.
Keep it 2 Thessalonians 1:6.
Okay.
Now this scripture is saying it's righteous to recompense those who trouble you, but how do you recompense them? Like we just said, you can't go up to them and give them evil for evil. So I'm gonna tell you how to recompense those who trouble you. All right.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6. It says, "Seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahweh to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you."
So we just proved that the scripture does it coincides with payback. All right. Now, how do you pay people back that trouble you? Can you go to Ephesians 6:12?
Okay.
It's not exactly 12, but it says the word is a sword.
So you want still want to go Ephesians?
Yeah, Ephesians 6:12. It's 6 and 12, 6 and 13, 14, 15.
6 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 15. It says, "And your feet shed with sod with the preparation of the gospel of peace."
Mm-hmm.
It says,
"Gospel of peace." Go ahead.
It says, "Above all, take the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fierce darts of the wicked."
The fiery darts of the wicked. All right, all the cunning devices that he has. All right, and that's the shield of faith. Then in what? The scriptures. All right, go ahead.
It says, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh.
Which is the word of Yahweh, the sword of the Spirit. That's how we repay back. That's how you repay tribulations to them that trouble you. You read these scriptures to them, man, and that cut them in a Bible shot. Hebrews 4 and 6. Hebrews 4 and 12.
This is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. It says, "For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful."
What kind of word of Yahweh is quick and powerful? And what?
"And sharper than any two-edged sword."
Sharper than any two-edged sword. All right, dividing asunder, right?
"Piercing even the dividing of sunder of soul and spirit."
That's right. Because why? That's how you get back to these. That's how we get our lick back. Are we actually going out to Edomite saying, "Are we gonna put you? I'm finna put you in chains," and we make them go down and yes, we got some chains and. You know, God, Salakia for that little pause. But yeah, are we actually going to Edomites and run up in their houses and put chains on them? No, But we are telling them to their face boldly, "Hey, you going into slavery on the Lord's time." And when He decides that He gonna have us, He gonna use this prophet, this holy man, to do it. All right, that's how we combat. That's how we get our lick back. That's how we rising up. All right, and that's the proper way to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. All right, we gave you the
Absolutely.
wrong, and we giving you the right, and that's all I have.
Yep.
That's all you have.
Yeah, con, absolutely. Yeah, beautiful
And
points.
honestly, I really hope this video is edifying because the reason I